Welcome to the Resilient Retail Game Plan, a podcast for anyone wanting to start, grow or scale a profitable creative product business with me, Catherine Erdley. The Resilient Retail Game Plan is a podcast dedicated to one thing, breaking down the concepts and tools that I've gathered from 20 years in the retail industry and showing you how you can use them in your business. This is the real nuts and bolts of running a successful product business, broken down in an easy, accessible way. This is not a podcast about learning how to make your business look good. It's the tools and techniques that will make you and your business feel good. Confidently plan, launch and manage your products, and feel in control of your sales numbers and cash flow to help you build a resilient retail business. Welcome to episode 29 of the Resilient Retail Game Plan. Thank you so much for listening. I really do appreciate every single person who tunes in and listens to the podcast. So thank you so much for being here. My name's Catherine Erdley and I'm your host as well as the founder of the Resilient Retail Club. The Resilient Retail Club is my membership group for creative product businesses and you can find out more at resilientretailclub.com. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about something called the trading mentality, and it is something that is really prevalent in big retailers, and I wanted to touch on it today, talk about what it is, why it's relevant for you in your business, how it can help you think about your business a little bit differently, and grow your all-important bottom line. If you are interested in this topic and you want to know more about how to grow the profits in your business, then I am doing a free talk called Introduction to Stock Management or a Simple Solution to More Profit. And if you go to resilientretailclub.com/stock, you're going to be able to sign up. It's happening on Monday, the 1st of March at 11:30 a.m. And I hope you come along and join me. So what is the trading mentality and why is it important for you to know about? The trading mentality is really a mindset which is focusing in on always following your sales and doing what is right and profitable for your business. What's really interesting is the trading mentality really kind of goes back to the idea of almost a market trader. So if you think about, for example, Sir Philip Green, everyone's favourite retail villain, he sort of epitomizes this trading mentality, which probably is not going to make you think it's a good thing, but hopefully, as I explain a little bit further along, it's still very relevant for your business. Philip Green started with a market stall. Interestingly enough, the Kamani family, who own Boohoo, who recently purchased Debenhams, they also started with a market stall. Marks and Spencer's also started as a market stall. So there's this kind of idea in retail about trading, being fast-paced, being reactive. It's about chasing sales. It's about looking at what's commercial. It's about doing what needs to be done to keep moving the business forward. So Philip Green's the sort of real, sort of most extreme example of this mentality. And the Arcadia Group for a long time were very much known for this sort of hard push, very objective, very cutthroat, ruthless, and all about the trading. And in big retail businesses, the ability to be a trader was something that was kind of talked about when you interviewed people, when you were looking to bring people into the business, then when you were talking to potential hires or potentially people that you were looking to promote, often this sort of trading mentality was something that you were looking for, especially in the buying team, especially in the merchandising team, the team that I was in that was dealing with the numbers and the strategy and the sales forecasting, the stock management. And it's really about, as I said, the best way I can really describe trading mentality is sort of a relentless or a sort of, somebody once described it as always be dissatisfied. So it's never, what you're doing isn't really enough. It's about pushing yourself to do better or pushing your business to do better. So I realize when I say it like this, it makes trading mentality sound something that is very much at cross purposes to purpose-led businesses, especially if you started your business as a creative outlet, especially if you started your business for personal reasons or as part of your self-development, or because you feel very strongly about the environment, for example, and therefore you want to be part of making the retail industry better. So you may hear everything that I say about the trading mentality and wonder how on earth it applies to you and how on earth it applies to a business that is purpose-led. So I would say that it is possible for businesses to both be purpose-led and also to have a trading mentality. So, for example, if we're looking at who does this very well, brands like Patagonia, Tom's, Lush Cosmetics in the UK, they're all examples of brands that have very strongly held purposes and beliefs, but they're also extremely commercial organizations. They have a strong trading mentality. They make decisions around not just their beliefs and their purposes, but also around wanting to grow sales and wanting to manage their stock and maximize their profitability. So really that's it in a nutshell. As I said, Philip Green model of trading mentality is probably the one that gets it bad press when they make decisions like, I'm sorry, we're not going to pay the suppliers in Bangladesh and India because there's a pandemic. That kind of thing definitely gives it a bad name. But that's the most extreme version. That's looking at the kind of ruthlessly profit-focused idea of retail. But if you can apply the trading mentality to a business that is purpose-led, then you are able to combine both purpose and also the commerciality, if you like, of a trading mentality, which is why I wanted to talk about it today, because I think it is something that is really relevant to a lot of business owners, and it's not something that comes naturally to a lot of people, especially if you're somebody who started your business as a creative outlet, something that you feel very passionately about. I believe that it's important to have both of those elements, the trading mentality, the commerciality, but then also the purpose. And there is this concept of the triple bottom line, so where it's about people, planet, and profit. So I think this is a really great model. It really sums up how you can be both a purpose-led brand, but also somebody who's really focused on profit. Now, why do I keep going on about profit? Well, I think ultimately, if you want to have change in the retail industry and you want to be part of that change, and you want that change to have an impact on how we live our lives and how we source our products and how we pay the people in our supply chain, for example, or whether you just simply want to create something for yourself, which is absolutely fine if you've got a personal vision for how your business is going to fit around your lifestyle. But if you want to be part of the retail industry moving forward, being a kinder, more human-focused, more environmental-focused place to be, then actually one of the best ways that you can do that is to be a profitable business, because that creates a model that people can follow. So that's why the trading mentality in my head is something that is very important for purpose-led brands to have as well. So what does it actually mean to have a trading mentality? Well, on a practical level, what it means in a big retailer is that once a week there is a trading meeting that is specifically to go through all of these things that we talked about, to look at the bestsellers, to look at the items that are profitable, to keep an eye on the goals that have been set for the business and whether or not all of the objectives and the figures and the targets that have been set are being met. It's also about reacting. So it's about being able to really get some information in real time about what people are buying and then reacting to it. So how does that look in a small business? How does that look in a purpose-led business? I think it's about, for me, making the time to review what's going on in your business. Now, in a big retail business, as I said, they have a weekly meeting. They are, however, looking at things on a daily basis, usually a several times a day basis. They're getting daily sales flashes, or they're getting updates on how the week is going or how stores are performing or how certain products are doing. And they're getting this update on really, really frequently. I think for a small business, it can actually feel a bit overwhelming to be looking at your sales data. Funnily enough, you probably look at it all the time. As sales come in, you hear the ping, you're having a look at what's sold, or you're having to dispatch the orders. So there's lots of reasons why you're seeing your sales data. But the trading mentality is about taking time, maybe once a month, to just go through that, to have a look at what's been selling, what's not been selling, and what you're going to do about it. The other element of having a trading mentality, as I said, one of the main reasons to have these meetings on a Monday in a big retailer is to look at the targets that have been set. And it's that kind of discipline, I think, that can be really beneficial for a small business. So it's why, for example, I did the Plan Your Sales Challenge at the beginning of January, which was really all about looking at what your plan was for the year and then creating a sales plan for your business. And why within the Resilient Retail Club, my membership, we had another planning session to go through what your plans for the year were and to get really clear about how to do that. And also one of the courses that I've got within the club, the Grow Your Profits course, that is all about creating a sales plan, creating not just a sales plan, but a stock plan from that and a budget, and then reacting to it as you go through week by week. So that really is a big piece of the trading mentality as well. I suppose it starts with, where do you want to go? What kind of money do you want to take? What goals are you going to set for yourself? And then what discipline are you going to apply to not putting all of your money into stock, for example? Stock management, it's one of those things that can be really tricky for small businesses to manage, which is, again, why I am a big believer in small purpose-led businesses and brands having this trading mentality, because for me, it just means that you're really focusing. You're not waiting till the end of the year to have a conversation with your accountant to tell you how well you're doing. You've got a plan, you've got a goal, and you know what you need to achieve, and you're setting out to achieve it. So that for me is the first step. First step for you as a small product business, get yourself a plan. I've said this before, but I think it's worth saying again. That you set yourself a plan, you create a stock plan, and then what you do is you go from month to month. As I said, I think once a month is a good time frame for small businesses. Looking at your sales constantly just means you don't see the patterns. And to be honest, looking at it on a weekly basis, it depends on the size of your business. If your business is probably under 6 figures, then looking at it every week, you may just see large fluctuations. It's not as easy to see the patterns. If you look at it once a month, then that to me is a better time frame for a business, a smaller business, so that you can start getting a sense of the patterns that come up. So you have your plan, your monthly review, where you're asking yourself some basic questions. And really the trading mentality boils down to a very simple principle. You do more of what works and you do less of what doesn't work. And that's really what should form the basis of your monthly review. What were your best sellers? And what were your worst sellers? Did you hit your goal? What were some of your key figures? For example, I always suggest looking at your conversion rate, looking at your average order value, looking at your average selling price, adding up how much stock you've got in your business. These are all really useful things for you to do in this monthly review. But I'm also a big believer in it's not enough to just take a look at things. You can't just kind of go, okay, I'm going to review this once a month. A trading mentality is all about information for action. So you get the information and then you go through it and you take actions. What does that look like sort of on a practical level? If you've got a monthly review and you go through and you see your best sellers and you have certain items that are selling really, really well, then you can ask yourself a series of questions about the items that are doing well. For example, if it's doing well, can you do more of the same? Do you understand why your best sellers are your best sellers? If you look at your top 5 or your top 10 items, are they, for example, a certain price point? Are they a certain type of product? Are they a certain color? Do you have one pattern that is doing well, really well, or one design that is doing much better than others? Is it a product for a certain age range? If, for example, if you're selling to babies or kids, what is it about this product that you think is driving those sales? And then you ask yourself, well, what can I do more of it? Can I order this item again if it's selling really well? Do you have enough stock to see you through for the next month? If it's doing well, can you, for example, if it's a design that's working well on a t-shirt, do you also have it on the sweatshirt? Do you have it in multiple colors? What can you do to make the most of this product that has caught your customer's imagination? Trading mentality is looking for patterns. It's keeping an eye out. It's keeping a watch on what's selling and then reacting to it. If you've got another order coming in for this item, have you ordered enough? Do you need to go back and order more? If it's an item where you've struggled to keep it in stock, is this the item that it's worth you really hedging your bets on and bulking up so that you don't run out in the future? Lots of things that you can look at. Similarly, when you have a list of your worst sellers, I also always recommend running a list of your zero sellers. So once a month, just run a list that tells you how many items you've got where you sold nothing. So run your zero sellers, run your worst sellers, and then you do the reverse of the best sellers. Do you have any orders placed for this item? Could you cancel them? Do you have a plan for how you're going to sell through this stock and then eventually clear it? Are there other items that you were planning on bringing in that are actually like this item and now you're wondering if this was the right decision? These are all questions that big retailers ask themselves over and over again, week in, week out. They look at reactions to products. They ask themselves, what's working well? What can we do more of? Can we increase the order? Can we bring more in? Have we ordered enough? Is there anything else we can do with this? Do we understand why the customer likes it? Can we feature it in more places? Can we push it out to somewhere that for example, if it's on your own website, but it's not on Etsy, could you put it on Etsy? All of these questions to ask yourself to make the most, or vice versa. If you've got it on Etsy, but not on your own website, can you sort that out? And then the same thing they do with the worst sellers. Why is it a worst seller? Do we think it's price? Is it actually, when I look at this entire category of product, none of it's selling? And I think the issue may be that the price isn't right. Could I reprice it? Not necessarily do a promotion, but maybe adjust the price to see if that helps with sales. Do I think there are other things that I'm doing that are like this that I should maybe stop doing? So it's just constantly, as I said, questioning. And that's why, and it's its most extreme form, it leads retailers to do really bad things, right? It leads them to cancel orders that they should have paid for because the supplier is out of pocket. It leads them to do things like squeeze their partners for the highest margin possible. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm just talking about that commerciality, the simple question of what's working well, what can I do more of, what's not working, and what can I do less of? And if you ask yourself that once a month and really drill into that detail, then it's actually going to help you so much when it comes to your product development as well, or your decisions about new products that you've got coming in, whether you're making the products yourself or whether you're buying them in. So it helps you really hone in on what's happening sort of under the hood of your own business, if you like. It helps you really understand the fundamentals of what your customers are reacting to, what they're loving and what they're not loving. The other piece then of the trading mentality, so I guess I would split it into three parts then. I would say it's setting yourself targets, which I've talked about in previous episodes as well. There are episodes about setting sales targets and also stock targets as well. And this is what I'm going to be talking about a little bit in the stock management talk that I have coming up on the 1st of March as well. It's setting yourself these targets. It is then reviewing those targets. So those are the two main pieces. It's set the target, review against the target. And then the third part about the trading mentality is really just keeping your eyes open and keeping your ears open and really tuning into what's selling and what's not selling. And that's not just from you, that's what's around you. What trends are you seeing in your particular product area? Now, when we say the word trend, people often think, oh, we're talking about, the 70s are really big right now. Well, there is that element of product trends, but trends can also just mean, what are you seeing? Is it that everybody around you is offering letterbox gifting and you don't have that option? Is it that people are messaging, instead of just Valentine's, they're talking about Valentines and Galentines, and you'd never really thought about that before? So actually being a trader is also about just eyes and ears open. And it's one of the reasons that I very often say to people in my weekly email that I send out, which gives you a little focus for your business each week. One of the things I'm often saying is that right now, when you're in the thick of it, we're about to go into the real Mother's Day frenzy where all of the messaging is going to be about Mother's Day, or every email you get sent is going to be about Mother's Day. Every website that you look on is going to be about Mother's Day. So if you're a business that sells Mother's Day products, like ears and eyes open. Again, not 100% not about copying things, not about taking other people's ideas and ripping them off and using them as your own. It's like being aware of the pool that you're swimming in. You're swimming in a pool with other people. What are they doing? Are you aware of it? And that really sort of the kind of instinct to pick up what your customer wants and to offer it to them. That's really part of the trading mentality as well. And it's also what makes product businesses exciting, if I'm honest. And I think where a lot of people who really love the trading aspect of retail, they really get a buzz off kind of discovering new ideas and new ways of doing things and spotting that lots of businesses are beginning to do something and thinking about if it fits for them and for their business. So it's kind of about being on the front foot and just constantly having a look at what's going on and deciding, is this right for me, basically. If you ever follow Joanne Griffin at Arnold & Bird, she's an excellent person for going through product trends, and she often does things like mood boards and talks about some of the bigger trends, but she also has some great blog posts and podcasts about using trends in your business. But the thing I just really want to leave you with is that it's your responsibility really as a business owner to be kind of keep tuning into your customers. And your customers are also influenced by what's going on around them. So again, part of that trading mentality is being commercial, keeping your eyes and your ears open. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. So I hope I've managed to convince you that being focused on the commercial aspects of your business is a real must-have for product businesses, for purpose-led product businesses as well. And that even though trading mentality is synonymous with some of the more, how should we say, aggressive business practices that give the retail industry a bad name, it can be used very effectively and very much in alignment with your values for all kinds of businesses. And at the very least, making sure that you've got a target that you're setting yourself and that you're finding time once a month to go through and see how you're doing against that target. And finally, the fun part, really, keeping your eyes and your ears open, keeping your eyes on what other people are doing. Again, I say this quite often, but it doesn't have to be within your niche. If you're a kids' wear brand, see what's going on in women's wear, men's wear, see what's going on in homeware, in food, in jewelry. There's lots of different trends or different things that will be happening all around you. It doesn't even have to be specifically businesses in your niche. It's just kind of getting a sense of what are people up to? What are some of the things that they're trying? And then using that to help you get inspired to try new things in your own business. And that ultimately is how businesses move forward. It's very difficult if your business kind of gets stuck in a rut, like business as usual, or you feel like, right, I've created this bestseller, I don't really know what to do next. The trading mentality means that you're always looking for the next big thing. And it means that you're always slightly dissatisfied with your bestsellers and looking to bring in products that are going to sell even better than the ones that you've already got. And that is how you keep moving it forward. You keep tuning in to what your customer wants. You keep refining your business model, refining your product range, bringing in products that sell more quickly, because ultimately the long-term success of your business requires you to keep an eye on your stock levels and to make sure that you are turning through them. Again, I'm not talking about selling through quickly as in boohoo quickly, as in fast fashion. I just mean that if you are able to turn your stock more frequently than you do currently, then it will just help you hugely with your cash flow. So these are all really great things for you to think about. And as I said at the beginning, if you are interested in stock management, if you want to know more about how it can help you drive the profitability in your business, then do come along to my free talk. It's happening on Monday, the 1st of March at 11:30 a.m. It's going to be all about stock management and how it can help profitability. And if you go to resilientretailclub.com/stock, then you'll be able to sign up. In the meantime, though, thank you so much to everyone who's taken a moment out of their day to rate and review the podcast. It really does mean a huge amount to me, and it's fantastic to see, as well as helping other people find it. And also a huge thank you to everyone who tags me on Instagram at Resilient Retail Club whenever you're listening. It is just so wonderful to see where you are when you're tuning in. So please keep them coming. Until next time. If you've enjoyed this week's episode, then I invite you to check out resilientretailclub.com. The Resilient Retail Club is the membership for anyone wanting to start, grow, or scale a profitable product business. No more trawling Google trying to find the answers to your questions or wading through general business advice that speaks mainly to service-based businesses. Whether you're still at the idea stage or you've been going for a while but want to get more focused and organised when it comes to your business, the Resilient Retail Club is the place for you. With a library of courses tailored to creative product businesses, several live sessions a month, and a supportive and active community, the Resilient Retail Club is the perfect membership to help you hit your goals faster. Check it out at resilientretailclub.com.